So hello guys, this time Krutanic Solution presents its first podcast with Dharmananda sir working in the senior manager at Bosch company. So this program will be attacking towards the skill development sections like how the people can work for the job creation, how to get employed. Okay, multiple of our learners are working towards into different segments like IT fields, FMCG fields. So we'll be working towards to how to find the potential employees, how to get the skilled workforce regarding that. So let's start the discussion with that. So firstly, a very warm welcome to you, sir. Uh, like we, as your background, like we got to know that you are coming from a very generous background, right? So like how was the journey? How was this journey meant like being 15 years into the corporate field and all? So from where have you started? What kind of a schooling things you did, and now how it feels to be in such a position?
Yeah, so actually, I was born in a very small and remote village in Assam, and schooling I have done from a government school. It is like more of a like in our mother tongue Manipuri medium school. In my village, still like the mobile network is still a problem. Now we talk about this 5G, 4G, right? In my village, still I am not very like properly able to talk to my parents whenever I want, and WhatsApp video calling is still not possible. So I grew up from that neighborhood, so only few of us could make it, actually come out of that and then do something. Yeah, so then I did my engineering from Nehu University, which is from Shillong. And then yeah, I've been like working many companies. Like I started with a company called CSC, which is a US based company. A lot of people will say it is a TCS of US. So they get all the the federal projects, including like Pentagons and NASA, all the projects. They will get it. So that this is the company I started. So for now, that company is now rebranded, or they have merged with XPE, and it's called DXC Technology.
Right.
Okay. And after that, I have gone through some Cognizant and Capgemini. Then just before that, I was working with Society Generally. It's 150 plus years investment banking group. So it was again a nice exposure to work with that company. They in that company, they used to say a very nice thing that like they were already 150 years old when I was working there. So it's more than that. So they have survived 2 world war, and they say like we'll survive one more, whatever comes, right? So that's the slogan. They used to say with that. Then yeah, I moved to Bosch, and this is quite different. This is the first manufacturing. So in IT, when you talk about IT, people will say like insurance, healthcare, and then telecom and all those kind of things. The pure manufacturings are very few people and few, right? The Samsung and then the Bosch and LG and all those things. Yeah, so currently I'm at Bosch, and I'm taking care of entire operations globally in terms of manufacturing. So my solution which we deliver, that is what running the factory.
So we'll come to that later. Like you told me, like you are coming from a very local background, like the people are not having that much of resources to develop their skills particularly. The thing is, we have multiple learners coming from that tier three towns, and they want to do something with worth of their life. Now here the problem, multiple problems they face, like language barrier. They think like corporate works only in English, so that is one thing. And another thing is like they do not have enough reach towards the resources, right? Coming from the so what like guidance we will be giving to them, like how they can develop those things which are required in today's work culture.
Yeah, today it's again like it's very different, okay, compared to, yeah, but still in India today also there are remote places where like it is not so reachable. The thing is, we say like we have the smartphone penetration, but it's just for saying. I know a lot of people, this one places in Northeast and even in some mainland India also, there are districts where the is still 2G is okay. So it's difficult, but for the kids who are already out and then doing professional courses like engineering and all those, right, into professional courses, for them there are plenty of opportunity now. And it's an open world and they can study from everywhere, from the internet or the any training institutes, or they can now people cannot say that I cannot, I didn't have everything they have. Yeah.
Yeah, one like I have one experience. One of our learners, she was from Northeast, so there was some network issue. Like the connectivity only was not there. So for attending for the sessions, what we conduct, she traveled for 2 hours and she went to the government office. There, she'll find the network or the Wi-Fi connection, and from there she was attending the classes and scaling up. Uh, coming to this part only, like previously what you said about the work culture in the corporate, the work culture was like, if any person is giving you a work, so they were giving you the ample time also, right? Here now the things got changed. Everyone wants that the work should be completed as soon as possible, right? So because of that there is a huge hectic pressure. So what do you feel like in this 15 years, or uh, uh, say that before privatization, globalization, LPG, right? And after that, how the work culture got changed in the market.
Yeah, so this in terms of work culture, there is a huge difference when it comes to Indian or domestic IT service providers. I would say not a product. So and then the product companies, one thing, that is another. Service provider and product company. There is a huge difference of the culture. Okay, then again, Indian IT service providing company and the global ones, US or European. There's a huge difference. So in India, we have a lot. It sounds like a criticism, but it's very true, and everybody knows that. Here, there are some financial thing, not enough paid. That is one thing, and then more than that, like in our India, because of our old, which deep rooted culture, right? We have something called like the boss tries to behave or become like the head of the family, that you see in here, in the joint family, your father, how he will, so same thing they feel it, each and every employee feel it. But when it comes to European companies, and also I have couple of good European company exposure, France and then German, right? So they are very different. It's completely like, you have some personal thing, so they will say, yeah, it's gone, you are working for the family, so family is everything, go ahead, take leave or something. But yeah, when it comes to this service providing company, because they worry a lot about the client, and client is everything, so just to make the client happy, they will go to any level. So that kind of things are there. So that.
So, like with that part only, we can sum up things. We can sum up it like that. If we are working into Indian companies, we are more oriented towards the tech field, like the work knowledge you should have, right? But the humanitarian values we are not teaching to our persons, right? Like the other person who is working with us, he's also human, so you should treat him as same, right? And the European studies and their culture, they have a humanitarian values, like you should treat other people also in the same manner, right? So where we are lacking, like why we are unable to imbibe that culture, that yes, we are as a social person, we are living in a society, right? So work is a part and parcel of the things. We want to upgrade ourselves, upgrade our society, upgrade our world, and along with that we need to provide enough resources for the audience, also for our customers, so that their standard of living can get arose. Right. So why we are unable to think in that manner, that we should treat other people with also with dignity and integrity at the workplaces?
So it has a lot of things to do with our deep rooted culture, where we have this social barriers. You are from that group, I'm from that, the geographically, then the because of this caste and all those, like the level, that is one thing. And another thing is, in service company, you as I mentioned earlier, that because we work for a client, so they go to any level to satisfy the client. Okay, so the same pressure comes to each and every employee. Manager gets the same pressure, that's why he puts the same pressure. So two things are there. So if even in India now, we are slowly getting a lot of our unicorns, right? So there the culture will be little different when it you compare to this service providing well-known brand like TCS, Infosys, or Wipro, right? So these things are getting like slowly better, I would say, in terms of the product company, Indians own unicorns. The culture will be a little open, and then So that is also happening. Yeah.
So, like, what do you feel? In the private sector, also there is racism, differentiation, and this casteism they follow.
Not really, not really. So, it is strictly not allowed. Even the smallest startup or anything, when it comes to corporate world, even in India, so we do follow a lot of, the racism, this like, it's treated very seriously. That is not there. It's only like, whatever within the policy allows, but still they have that culture. Like the manager is always like, after proving I am your boss kind of thing. So those are the mentality. That is something, the difference between the outside European or our company. But yeah, and as I said, like it is changing when it goes to, when if you have a chance to work to these unicorns, right? The things are a little different.
So with this part only, like we have seen, like Indian colleges have been bifurcated into certain categories. Like certain colleges, we say it as esteemed colleges. Esteemed, like BITS is there, then IITs are there, NITs are there. No, we have a perspective, no, like being as a company, that if we hire a person from there, that will be productive enough to pursue our work. And we have seen that, like in the tier 2 and tier 3 colleges also, there are certain few persons who are very much productive. So, like, what's the difference? Like, if you want to recommend, like, every person in the IITs is also not very great, right? So they are still, like, they are also same kind of it's humans only. But why this corporate see a person from a esteemed colleges with a different eye as comparison with a person from a tier 3 colleges with a different eye?
Yeah, so that again, something to do with the way these companies, when the HR and the overall the organizations, right? When they think of hiring someone, then they already have made their mind thinking that this guy has cracked IIT or IIM, right? He is into different level. So that's why, like he will already he has decided in his mind, made his mind that yeah, so this guys must be good. But it's not really the case. But if you see, like either Google or the Facebook and this Amazon and all, so they are even going to some of the college, even in our Assam, which is not the chain like NIT or IIT. Even some normal, the state capital colleges are there, right? Normal graduates, okay, science graduates, they are picking. But they have this thing, they will pick only one or two from, even from the IITs also. So things are changing, and they really see what they want. It's not the brand, like which is tech to him. But yeah, some company will again, like yeah, he is from IT, so he must be good. But again, in reality is that even last couple of years, right, you see a lot of ITNs are not placed properly. But at the same time, some NIT or some LPU guys are paid with some record breaking offer. So that is how it is.
Yeah. In this part, like I have recently met with one person coming from Manipal University. So he told me, like, there was a job posting from a very good company, like a renowned company. He told me, like, of two things are there. Firstly, I messaged to the HR because HR has posted on the LinkedIn also that we have this vacancy and all. So I have applied from there also, and I have applied from their career portal also. Now my that LinkedIn profile got rejected from where I applied, and based on the career page, I have received a call that yes, we had scheduling your further rounds with us. So w- see, there are n numbers of platforms which provide job opportunities, right? Now here the thing is, if every, like, the people, the social people where they are staying, and if we are also using the same source to apply for the jobs, so we have more chances of being rejected because they are getting more applications from that source. Now, usually people do not go for the career portals for applying for the jobs, right? And they have a huge scope because from there, the less like people are applying. So they have a more scope basically to get selected, to at least get a final call, like for the round calls. So how do you think, like, if a new person is there, through what sources he can find out the proper job, like what job he can apply through, so that he can get, at least he should receive a further call, interviews calls, right? So what are the sources through which we can apply for the this job?
Yeah, so in company, based on my experience, even the insight, how it works is, multiple source. It's not one source. It is always multiple source. It's been actually from the beginning. So we know a lot of these job portals like Naukri, and then a lot of now Indeed and many things renamed, right? Times.com and the Monster.com and all those things. So then now the new trend is like LinkedIn kind of, you do the corporate networking, and then you become like, known each other, friends. And then when there is an opportunity, you try to grab that. You approach, they also approach. So even for the companies, hiring process works that way, that if I know someone, you bring someone as a referral, it's very easy for the company and the HR process. It's, the hiring process, the cost, and many things is very easy. So that is one thing. So it says inside the organization, they will first go for this internal job posting. Like within the organization itself, someone is available with that kind of tools and technologies, skills, what he has, right? That is one thing. And the next level is like, he will circulate, HR will circulate like IJP, and then this LinkedIn, and then the open market in the job portals and everything. So to like, who are job seeker, what I would say is you, be available in all the platforms. If you really, care about your job, right? Make a good corporate networking through LinkedIn or similar kind of thing. And then you upload your, the profile or CV, right? Everywhere, which is possible. And there is even like, very, very inside, because we are from IT, the algorithm, the way it works is, you don't give up. You log in early, alternate day or something, so that your profile remains up to date. Because when somebody look for that, so the top profile who was latest, you didn't log in even within 1 or 2 years, your profile won't be considered. So that is one thing. And again, like you mentioned, right, the getting, how to get the calls. See, everything we can prove ourselves once you get the interview calls. So without the interview call, without the first round, you cannot even prove. So the initial discussion, if you are from a remote village, you are a little bit like from unprivileged, right? So underprivileged. So in that case, you need to get the exposure, the first chance, and then prove yourself. So in that case, again, a lot of keywords also depends. So this is like the insight in the profile, right? When you create the profile, you have to have certain keywords, so that when you are the recruiter, you look for, no, I need the DevOps guy, I need a test automation QA guy. So those keywords are being searched like the normal Google search, and then your CV will be found out, and then you get more chance. So keyword is very important. At the same time, especially in India, we have a lot of thing called putting everything in the profile. That is, again, I won't suggest, because the thing is, when you put something, you put one skill set in your CV, and you face an interview with me, then I will start questioning, asking question about those related, and then you should not be blank. So that is also not good. Yeah.
So basically, like what you are saying, if you are like creating a CV or resume, it should be a truthful. We should not like do anything like bogus thing. We should not put over there. Nowadays, we are seeing like this alias friendly resumes, right? So there are multiple softwares meant to give you the ATS scores and all. But how it is important? See, like what I believe is personal thing. Like one company will be having a different work, another company is going to have a different work. We both are looking for their web development, but their task is different. So you need to get a better score. Like if you want to get into that job, you need to understand the company. So how much it is important that before applying into any company, you should know about your work and that company. How much it is important nowadays?
It's very important, in terms of getting the calls, and then preparing. So that even in profiles, right? So the exactly, the topic you mentioned, right? So people are forced to modify the profile a little bit. See, for example, you are into some domain, or some technology skill sets you are working, right? Then like you feel like the market is moving towards this AI, or for example, then you need to put more of that, because you are a job seeker, you want that interview calls, related calls. So you need to have modify, but still you have to be truthful, because you should not put something which you don't know. So especially in India, it's very common practice, and then the recruiters are not happy, even the technical recruiters and everything. But the in outside, right, especially European, they will keep it very simple. I am Java expert or something, right? I am expert mean I'm expert, but he won't put too many things because I want to do this, and he will do till retirement of his the professional careers in the same way. But again, getting a lot of software or AI help to create a better profile, right? CB, that is again it's good. It gives a good impression to the recruiter when we read. Now it's a very readable, so that is good. You can take the professional help if you want, and you can use a lot of software to generate a nice profile, cover letter and all, but the content should be truthful. That's the only thing.
Nowadays we are seeing that multiple students, they are, rather than focusing for the jobs in Indian market, they want to go abroad. Right. So, like, might be salary can be one issue, one thing that is a pulling factor that going for the international jobs and all. So, but like the thing is, how come like this Indian market is not getting developed enough? Because we have the foreign clients, right? Every company has a foreign client. They are working on certain foreign projects. But why we are not providing enough money, enough salaries to the workforce for a sustained life? And that is the reason why they are going abroad. So what are the criteria why they are not getting well paid particularly?
Yeah, so actually it is now the gap is very less. It has reduced a lot. You see a lot of the people NRIs coming back, settling in Bangalore and all just for some social value. They value their families and relative and all. But this going abroad, it was started not just about the money and the lifestyle. It was started in India in many culture. In the many states they have if you are working even the same company XYZ you are working, right, but you are working from India, same company, same designation, but you don't respect too much, but yeah, he is settled in US, he's working from that, then in that neighborhood, the social, right, they start giving a lot of value, and then even in terms of marriage and all, right, this is quite funny thing, but that is changing now. It's not there in many culture anymore. Even in South also, I don't want to name it, some states, one or two states, but slowly changing. And then even in terms of this, the like the payment wise or the there also the gap has reduced. The thing is, we feel that they are like really well paid, but the same thing, their living cost is too high. For example, Singapore, it pays a lot, you don't save anything. So if you really think about money, right, you should target Middle East, Dubai or Qatar or Doha kind of thing. But those countries, because we go business trip time to time, so it's just like that, one breakfast, one lunch, dinner, some like 2-3K in single. So whatever you earn, you spend also. So the gap is reduced a lot. Gap has reduced a lot. So the money is also not a concern. So it's again, I would say, is now in this generation is more of a personal choice. So if you want to stay nearby to your social or the your the original roots, right, the people are choosing to stay here, it's fine. But there is some difference which some people tend to go there and settle there. It's lifestyle is different because right, in Bangalore a lot of traffic, and then the system is not organized, and you face a lot of things. The infra is not good. We are developing, but there is still so there is a huge difference in terms of lifestyle. But in terms of opportunity, then the paycheck and all, there is not much difference. So it's
So we see like governments putting so many schemes for the better life, standard of living, but still what we notice that the certain strata, that is like top strata of India, they are migrating towards the US or Europe regarding the standard of life. Like they think like they have a good standard of like over there, bribe, corruption is not there. These all things, which is making them migrated from India, right? And eventually, if those strata only, those people only who are the job creators, right? Because of the policies of the government, and they are going to migrate from India. Then how do you think, like, how far is the aim of developed India?
Yeah, so that thing is again like government's doing everything they can, because you cannot do so many things because there is something called like it all run from the taxpayers, money, right? So they have to allocate. So you cannot give so much like the the bonus or offers to the organization. Yeah, I'll give 10 or 20 years of tax free. You stay here, do something here. So it's not always possible, but government's doing whatever they can, right? But you see even our big names, the Tatas or the Ambanis or the Adanis, right? So even there you will see even the industry groups, founder and all those things. So most of the people have a their this one like stay in the UK or US or something, especially UK. So even this kind of people, but they have everything they want in India, but they don't like the lifestyle. What I was telling in the beginning, right? We have a lot of things. Some people doesn't like the intolerance, all those things, and some people doesn't like the infra and the the social restriction and so many things. So but again, who are really really like care about the country or their community or the people back home, right? Those people, they are choosing and they will continue to choose. So that those are the people who can drive this. But some people are, even though they are industrialists, they are quite selfish kind of, they just care about their own company's growth. Or for example, the Ratan Tata, he was completely living his entire life for the social cause and for the India's development and growth. He could have settled there, right? But he didn't do it. So that's the difference. And but by the way, he's not even like the Indian origin. Right? If you go back to his ancestral, right? He's a Iranian guy. Okay, so that's
Like, multiple talks we are having with the persons coming from industry, and they say like nowadays skill gap is increasing, right? We are not able to find the, see, what I believe, corporates, before pandemic, they were investing in the freshers to make them experienced. After pandemic, the workload is designed in such a manner that they do not have enough resources to invest for the freshers to make them experienced. And that is the reason this gap is getting increased, right? People are not getting jobs, freshers are not getting jobs. Experienced holder later, they are well settled. Now slowly and slowly India produces the largest engineers and doctors in a year, right? So this gap is getting increased. And if like suppose employer is not giving the chance to fresher, he is not going to have any experience, right? So how to gain this experience, how to fill this gap, so that like the levels, like suppose that if I got passed out from any college, if I experience means I should get a job, then from there only I'll get an experience. If anyone is not going to give me a good job, from where can I get the experience? So then there will be a 2-3 year of gap after getting graduated, mostly people have. And in their BGP verification, this 2 years of gap is being taken as very, very big deal. What were you doing? Why you haven't got placed anywhere? So what, as a like as an educational institution, we can do to help our students as well, and along with the industry also? How can we support them?
yeah. So this like the freshers struggle, or these things are very different, I would say, compared to few years. Even mean my generation, my brother's generation, even in some states, right? Even the top NIT toppers didn't get any campus. Okay, my eldest brother itself. Okay, so but like now most of the institutes, right, they are having quite a nice placement, which is tie up with all the corporates. We do have even like we do a lot of campus hiring and all, but it is not for the entire capacity of the institute. There are some percentage which is left over, so that will be there. And again, it is completely, I would say, it's a demand supply. Okay, so we produce a lot of engineer, doesn't mean that there are that many jobs are available.
Right.
So again, it is survival of the fittest thing. So who are smart, who can prove themselves, they will, even a little of 1 or 2 months of delay, or he is not through with the campus interview, because in the campus interview you have to go through certain process. A lot of this arithmetic or aptitudes and all those You have to each and every level. But the way we talked right in the beginning, if you get the interview call and if you can prove yourself, that's the beginning. So that you get through this kind of your, if I'm not having something, okay, skill, but I want to learn, and there is the demand of this particular skill, they can come to, institutes like yours, okay, then get the skills which needed. So again, from college to college, if you go to a very fancy premium, the even in private, okay, they are even advanced if you compare to IITs and all in terms of the latest technology, LPUs or Manipals or all those, this one SMR and all those things, right? So they are quite ready-made, the way they design their curriculum and all, right? The syllabus is very much in line with the latest tools and technology. If, for example, AI is becoming reality, that means they will immediately change from this set that, a lot of course related to AI they will include. But in government school or some of the institutes who are not very this one like rich enough, right, in financially, so they won't. So for those kids, I would say freshers, they should get one is like online and then the offline, so whatever is fits for him, so they should go for this.
Nowadays the thing is multiple technologies are getting developed. AI is one, cybersec is one, then machine learning, full stack, and fintech as a new domain, right? Supply chain got changed completely due to the digital setup. So the thing is, if as now if I'm like, suppose that I'm doing my BTech from any college, I'm doing in a CS, so I will be having n numbers of opportunities in front of me, that should I go for AI, should I go for machine learning jobs, should I go for cybersecurity jobs. So like how, like, because I have seen certain people, like I was planning in my engineering to become a data scientist. I got the job as well, but now they are planning to switch to any other careers, right? So how to know which technology you should learn, which belongs to you, what you are good at?
Okay, so that is one thing, like from that is the biggest challenge for each and every one of us, not just in terms of this technology, that the modern technology. So it's about like what is your passion, what things makes you happy, so the two things are there. One, like in especially in India, because of our level of living, the the lifestyle, that we have a lot of things to struggle and then a lot of things to worry, then we focus a lot. So sometimes we keep our the passion and everything aside, and then you focus on like I should have enough handful of money for my own family or something, right? That is one thing. But if you really want to be successful, we should follow it. That is one thing. But if you want to be the best in the industry, in the market or something, right, then again you have to be little proactive, and then you should know where the things are moving. Because, for example, in my experience itself in entire the in IT career, so from starting, that when we were starting, the cloud was just a term.
Cloud.
Yeah, so I was telling, so technologies, there is a very big shift of technology, especially this modern, not just in terms of technology, in terms of the gadgets also. Many things like, from LCD to LED, then, so many things, right? Same in terms of our technology. So cloud was one, like, there was just a starting, but now it's reality. Everywhere it is. Then now suddenly you see within 2 years, I would say not even 2 years, AI was not a like reality. People just talk about AI, then people will again say, yeah, it's not so coming soon, and it's not so like realistic or something. But it is becoming real. So the all the people, right? Not just the freshers, even the experienced people. There are a lot of experienced guys who are having more than 5 to 10 years of experience, struggling with their career because they are not focusing where the technology is moving. So you have to prepare yourself. So for example, I am working already, but there's a huge shift of the technology, and I am stuck with some traditional, some legacy technology. I'm still working. I'm having a job in a good MNCs, right? But if the technology is moving, I should be ready for that. And you should try within the company, outside the company, move towards the technology. So for that, again, like you guys are the one who can help on those, right? Because you come with nice this one, the curriculum and everything, right? We have a capability you build for this training, right? So people can get those trained. Now AI is really the biggest example.
So we have the students like pan India, international clients also. What we see particularly, like from different region, people go for different tech fields. Like they have an interest in different technologies. Like suppose that we have our students from VIT campus, Tamil Nadu, or Amrita Vishwavidyapita. So they are more focused towards the IoT, robotics part. What is drone mechanics? They want to know about it. Now, a person coming from like Kalinga Institute of Industrial Training, so there the people are more into data science, AI, that portion. Coming from MP, they will be more into web developer, Android developer. So, like, why this area-wise differentiation is getting happened based on the technology? Why they are choosing because of their area? Because multiple people like this region in Tamil Nadu only, they are more focused to know about embedded system. Their dream companies, Nvidia and all. So how come this area makes a differentiation when choosing for any of the technology they want to
Yeah,
use?
so it has a lot to do with the your neighborhood, the environment where you are, you grew up, and the social, the culture. So this Kalinga Institute you mentioned, right? It's a Bhubaneswar kid, right? And then from Kolkata or something. So right? One of the best economists are from Kolkata, Amrita Sen and all those, right? So same way, so Kolkata, then the Orissa, they are quite good. It's in their blood. This, data analysis and all this accounting and all those things. So there they get respect also and they enjoy also. It's gifted. They do a lot of these things traditionally. And when it comes to Tamil Nadu, that VIT and all, they are looking for those, right? Robotic and all. Again, if you go to our ISRO and all, right? Lot of scientists are from Tamil Nadu, especially then Andhra and Karnataka. So they are again more into this kind of they love that. So that's why those demand. So even see you and me hang out together all the time, right? So you slowly get influenced by me or I get influenced by you. Your likes and those things. But daily we'll be discussing and then you become fan of that particular thing. So that is the reason.
This startup culture, what we are seeing in India, startups are focusing on the problems, small problems, and they're trying to resolve it through their innovative solutions. So, how do you feel like in Indian economy? How does an Indian economy supports an startups culture or that corporate growth? So that because we can say that Google also at the time was in a startup only when it got started. So how Indian economy is supporting the startups and all so that we can be the you can say the job creators of the market. How they are supporting like that?
Yeah, so the government, especially the recent, the current government, right? They are doing a lot in terms of to support the job creators. It can be a one man or it can be a some kind of group of people or NGOs or something. So there are so many schemes. So if somebody is really interested, they should find out. So it's in every budget and in the policies, Niti Aayog and all those. They are doing a lot of things. So we should know. Yeah, the rural people that they struggle with that also. But the educated group like yourself, you can find out. So there are a lot of things which like help you. You may not be having like completely not very sound with financial backups, and then you are not getting enough funding from the other this one the corporates or something, right? So in that case government is having a lot of schemes, so we can utilize the best out of it.
Right.
There is, but again now when you have the really good idea, you don't have the financial, even the government is not supporting, but if idea is really something you know unique and wow, then even the selling the idea itself is a it works. So
Like talking about our company only, Krutanic Solutions, we were having a vision. The vision was like this: students who are facing the problems of any kind, because we see somewhere the education system have like multiple loopholes, and they are unable to fill that, due to which at the end the student feel depressed, right? Am I not worth doing anything? Like that kind of a feeling comes. Why I'm not getting the jobs? Am I not trained enough? They see like a person having a BTech degree, I'm also having a BTech degree, then why he's getting a good job opportunities, why I'm not getting it? So, and they were like in a black image forthcoming. They were not having a proper guidance, proper roadmap, what to follow, what to do, what can I do for myself to enrich myself with the proper skills which is required in the industry. So every person was having that kind of a problem when we have seen them from the outside mirrored. So now we strived for that. That as a company, as an organization, as an educational setup, we want to provide to industry certain skilled workforce, because we want that at the end they should also feel like, suppose that it feels happy, it feels really happy that someone who got trained under you, now he is a CEO of a company and he is a director of a company, he's working the, he's handling the operations of the company, so it feels happy. And the same person was struggling for the life. So this was the vision for the panic solutions, and that's why we have a tagline like a ladder for a brighter future. So we'll provide you a right guidance or the roadmap through which you can walk towards your success. So this was the initiative what we have started. Government also supported us regarding the government have multiple schemes, right? Like a startup India, skill India, Niti Aayog, and also because of their supports, we have tried into this particular segment and we are working on it. And still, it's education is something which you can't say that it's enough. It's something it's require a continuous growth. With this part, like in the corporate, so like in the for the person, suppose that a person is having a very good tech skills, right? So they feel like that how come communication skills and interpersonal skills does like add a value for my job, right? But eventually they have to work in a team, they have to work in a culture. So what do you think, like how are the soft skills impacting a person in their work culture?
Yeah, so the soft skill is especially in the Indian industry, it's very important because we don't do much of for ourselves in our industry. If you see, except some core like automobile or something which have our in-house the known the big names, right? But if you talk about the IT or this technology driven, right, there you see whatever we do, we don't do for ourselves. So then, since you are not doing for yourself, if you are doing for yourself, then Hindi is enough or Tamil is enough. The same recently that discussion came up, this one because of this Hindi and all those goings that our I think Joho CEO Bimu. So he's very different. So he was telling like it's like we should start talking in our regional languages, in our offices. Like, for example, this is an office. Now you and me are talking in English, but it's not your language. It's not my language. It should not be a barrier. In fact, instead, like if we talk in something, your language or my language, which is our Indian origin language, then it should be even better. That is what every country is doing. China is coming up with this DeepSeek and all. Do you think they talk in English and then did in their meetings and corporate? No, they talk in Chinese. So same way. So, but in India, language is important because you don't do work for yourself. You work for the clients, and clients are European or the American. Major or most of our clients are English speakers, and sometimes they are non-English speaker like Germans and Poland and all the French. But even they also, the medium of communication is English. So that's why the English is becoming so important. And because of that, like even in the recruitment process now, when you or me go for interview, the first thing when you start introducing yourself, that creates a big impact. I mean, in India, but it's not the same in some other or pure product company and all. And there they will look for your capability, the code challenge they will give, hackathon they will do. So if you don't know, you will speak only Tamil or something, for example, but still like you are the best in hackathon or code challenge, right? Google will be happy. So that depends. But yeah, in India, like it's quite importance is given. It is the first impression. So many recruiter, right? The moment you start talking, you are nervous or your English is very bad. This we will have problem because he has to work with our European colleagues, right? he will struggle. And it's true also, since we are working with the European colleagues or the US colleagues, right? So if you don't, you have to understand what they're saying, and they have to understand what you are saying. I have seen myself in my the team and all. So that is how importance of communication is coming.
So there is one book of Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Prime Minister, regarding ignited minds. Now they were totally focusing on the students, like how to ignite their mind, how to make them focus on their learning parameters, and recently certain key things what is mentioned in that book has been adopted in our NEP also, National Educational Policy. So like in real, like how important it is there that you should have an ignited mind, a person, and rather than following a process, how much, like if you are having that you can say that kick, or that rose that you want to do something good apart from others, innovations, right? The innovations is the right term, I guess. So like how can a person develop a mind to do a innovation?
Yeah, so that's again, like it's a little bit like out of the box thinking. And then but now the I would say the very that the current generation, right, they are quite like that. And so one thing is, there are certain people, like for example, you said APJ Abdul Kalam, right? So he was from very old generation, older than you, me, many people. But still, those people are against someone or some people. It's a very few percentage of people. So they are again like they don't care anything. They will do whatever they want to do. I want to become this, or I want to do this. No, they won't even look for their but the family's background, financial, whether it is like feasible or not, whether like I can achieve or not. Doesn't care. Even if fails, doesn't matter. So that is one population. So that is almost like it comes with the the bird itself. And another, like some percentage, especially in India or some kind of Brazil or say developing, right? So there the problem is, we are like uh, forced to think about many things before trying something, like risk taking. So trying something, you are trying for some startup, right? Is it risk taking? You could have enjoyed nicely in from the campus, one of the big brands you work, and then so the risk taking that comes with your financial background, your dependency. So if you don't have any dependency, you will do, like a lot of people, you see, right, the adventure sports and all, they are doing a lot of challenges which is life threatening. Anything can happen. But yeah, it doesn't matter for them, they want to do that. So that again comes with that background. So the certain percentage of the population, they get that freedom. A certain percentage is still like they are struggling with that. And in India, we have a lot of that. The other population percentage, which is still, you need a house, you need a car, you need a good, this one life or something. So out of the box thinking, like that is not so that is not a like luxury for them to have those kind of.
And like does this work culture of companies supports innovation? If someone wants to innovate something like regarding their work, they want to implement new methods, like they get supports, or like their ideas are getting rejected, like
Yeah, the companies, they do have a lot of this kind of, even in our Indian service providing companies also, they have this. Time to time they will do, try to do some innovation stuff and all, but those are more like a formality, because we are just giving a service what the client wants. So that is the reason. But and they do, but again, it is something, if somebody wants to do something, right, so they will do their own. You don't have to be in a company or anything. So it is completely different.
so. Like coming to the last section, like we have asked certain questions, like asked our poll that students, if they want to ask any question from you, they can like give the question. So we got certain questions, okay, that we want to ask. Like there is one girl, her name is Akrati, and she is from SRM, Andhra Pradesh. She has asked regarding the, see, like she told me, like asked to sir, like multiple technologies changes are going on, right? So while as a student, if you are learning something today, within a year it will become obsolete. So how, like you as a working person, like you are working since so long, how you keep yourself updated with the technological changes?
Yeah, so one thing, it's very true. Now, it's like soft skill or the, each and every technology is changing so rapidly, especially in this recent, like, couple of years. Like, just like the things are going, every 1 year you are seeing a new the operating system, new mobiles. Same way in terms of even the code, tools and technologies, skills, what we are using in our industry, right? That is also changing. So the thing is, like the concern about her is like, I have prepared myself for some technology. By the time I am coming out and ready, right, the technology is slowly becoming obsolete, and then the new technology is coming. But the thing is, it is nothing is obsolete or outdated. When you learn something, no, the same thing helps in the new technology also. So for example, in terms of the full stack development and all, right, the technology, right, the programming language doesn't matter. It's your programming skill matters. So when you try to learn that programming using some, for example, Java, it was the C or something, C sharp, or right. So there, whatever you put effort and you did, right, that is still valid. The moment now, it's a Python is very popular, for example. So when you do Python, certainly like it's like the just a change of the language in a normal generic language, right? Now you want to say something, do something, achieve something, right? Either you say in English, either you say in Hindi. That's the way of difference. The actual thing you have learned, right? The effort you did to learn certain technology, right? That helps always. So there's nothing call out in terms of that.
One more question we have got. This guy is Vaibhav. Now he is doing his BTech from Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Technology. It's in Gujarat. He asked, like, sir, whenever I am applying for different job opportunities, like I'm not receiving that calls regarding it. What should I do? So he is applying for multiple jobs. So what I got to know, like from this comment, that he is applying for multiple jobs, but he is not receiving. He's not getting shortlisted also. So what can he do so that he can get?
Yeah, so this has a lot to do what we initially discussed. So it might be something wrong in his CV. So that's why sometimes, that's why a lot of you guys like it help professional guidance. So getting interview call and then not selected is something like, I am not having something what they are looking for. But first, getting interview call is like, everyone deserve that. You should get interview call. So not just fresher. Even I have known the friends, okay, in my this one, so friend circle, they also complain. Yeah, how you get so many calls, but I don't get calls. So the getting calls is very important. So that has a lot to do with that, the way you design your profile, first level impression, right? And then the keywords, the tools and technology, what the skill set they're looking, right? It has to be there. So maybe like it is, the not interesting enough, because shortlisting is something they don't even know you. They're just going through your profile. Then they're shortlisting and you are applying, right? They're not seeing your picture or anything. So it is the content of the profile that impresses the recruiter, and then the first level of call happens. So that's why in the profile, when you don't do too much, overdoing is also not good. And then like very clear, simple, and then the keywords, right? So those skills has to be there.
Uh, Taking the another question, we have got it from Ankit. Now he is a working professional. He is working in IBM since around 2 years. He mentioned. So like he asked me, like in my company right now, we are working on certain AI models. So what is the score? Like he wants to know, like in your company, is there anything like you guys are working on AI, and what you want to say?
In my company,
Yeah, regarding AI as a tool, are you working something like on that projects or like that you want to go?
yeah, so I will just because it is something a little bit this one, even I can avoid this question, but the every company now is working towards AI. It's very true. Every company, even for you guys also, right?
Right.
You need to think towards, because now slowly everything is moving toward. Even the farmer in the rural, they are adopting AI, not directly by themselves, by some enablers, okay, some startups or some people. So AI, because it is helping, the things which you cannot do in like 1 week, is able to get it done by just like that. So not everything, but it is happening. So the AI is there.
So coming to the last end question, like this, there is a huge like we are seeing the dissatisfaction from the point of view of job seeker as well, and from the point of view of employer as well. Like there is a retention problem. Employees are not getting retained, and that too like at the level of from 20 years to around 35. They are not getting settled in one job. So what can a company do, and what can a job seeker can manage to increase this job retention level in a company?
Yeah, so when it comes to this retention thing, right? Most of the company, okay, so this is the inside, the how the company works. So they have already designed that way. Even if you are not willing to, you want to be retained, and you want to like join, you have joined a company, then you want to retain in that company itself. You don't want any switch. You are all okay. Even in that case also, a company has its own policy of attrition. So this is something like in the, I would say, very generic term. There is a sales, this one, the fashion store or something. So they reshuffle this one stock. Some of the old stock has to go away, and the new fresh stock has to come. So from the campus, if I get something, you never know, out of that 20 or 30 we are bringing it new, right? There might be someone who will be like that this guy, so Sam Salpend or something, or Srinivasan, like professor, what is that, perplexity AI, right? So you never know. So that's why company has a policy. So certain percentage of this iteration and rehiring has to be done. It is forced by the company's policy and HR. So it has to go through that. But in terms of this retention thing, right, again it depends. So the thing is, some of the companies, especially the service providing company, they are very very like fixed rule. Even if you are the best, but still they have some band, okay, we can give only this this percentage of hike, and to this level only this kind of thing. So because of that, it takes a lot of time. So in India, mostly this retention problem is coming because of this financial thing. So people are left with one choice, which is switching the organization, because they never ever get the same level of increments or the hikes, right, growth, if you stay in the company.
So suppose that if you want, like at the end, if you want to suggest something to a recent passed out, just he got passed out, now he is open to market. So what are the certain few suggestions you can give to him right now, that how to build a good and worthy career regarding that?
Yeah, so to freshers, like whether they have a campus system or not, or whether he will come out and struggle off campus for a job or not. So now actually getting prepared, right? Proactiveness is something everybody is looking, because we are, supply is a lot, demand is less. Globally, even it is worse. For example, recently, even in IBM, yesterday's news, they are going to fire 9,000 around employee, but that is they are firing that. Same kind of amount of resource they are trying to increase in India. That means they are offshoring a lot of projects because of our the cost of employee, right? It is quite lower compared to them. So that is happening. There is opportunity. So you have to prepare. So now even when I was going through some of the campus interview in our organization itself, so kids are ready with some certifications, the real certifications from the big brands, from the Microsoft, from the AWS. So they are getting prepared, and those are nothing to do with the institution. It's your preparedness, how you ready yourself. the better you are, then you have a better chance to get selected. That is the thing. And then again, I'm just repeating again, in one of the discussion earlier we had, right? You have to know, especially in terms of this IT and this technology, right? We are mostly, major population is into this industry, so they have to know where the technology is shifting. So for example, now if you want to be the just like normal developer, I'm a Java developer or C# developer, right? And then what you are doing? Developer is fine, but what kind of things you are doing? For example, this insurance, banking, e-com, telecom, then the healthcare, right? This has become so standard, okay? You don't need you and me to develop that. You tell the AI, Google is already doing more than like I think 60-70% of development by AI, not by human. So which is like e-com, for example. A lot of this e-com companies running, right? Today Blinkit, tomorrow Zepto, and then all these things. It's the same thing. You just change the logo. Payment gateways there, the seeing the menus or the product comparison, same thing. So these things are getting replaced very soon with AI and already happening. So you don't stay in that. So you have to know where it is happening, and then you have to move towards. So the people who are developing AI itself, they always have a job. Even if the AI becomes a reality, like, now for you assisting so many, like, robots, AI driven robots are roaming around, but still those developers of the AI itself, that is valid. So, many things, I'm just giving one example. Then the cloud was one time, and then again, this AI, and then many DevOps, time to time, this thing changes. Then you have to be a little ahead of that, this new technology when it comes, right? You have to grab sooner. Otherwise, you become a little bit outdated, and you will start struggling.
So basically, like now the competition is not only with humans, but you have a competition with AI also. So take AI as a competitor and be prepared for that. Be prepared for that.
Very, very true. It's not me. I'm no one. Okay, I'm just just a employee of Bosch, but many experts, the CEOs and the founders of all these global tech giants, right? They are saying, and it's becoming true. If you see, each and every day there is something coming, and everything is becoming reality.
So that was all. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time in this short notice. And here we are going to close now. So multiple, I guess you guys got multiple new briefs, how you can prepare for the upcoming market changes, how you can build your resumes and all. So these all things, try to implement it, develop your skills more and more. Be in touch with Krutanic Solutions. We are striving for your success. Thank you so much for joining. Many more things yet to come.